Yeah, good day, Ronnie. It's me back again, mate. I stuffed up this bloody video, so what you're going to get now, I've got to try and remember, you're going to get the first part of the video after you've got the second part, right? Because what I did, I thought I'd be a smart ass and pressed the pause button while I got my thoughts together. But unfortunately, something went wrong when I tried to restart it. Well, it did restart, but you only got the second part, if that makes any sense, but you didn't get the first part. So I thought, oh geez, this is no good. So I thought, I'll try and remember my thoughts on the first part. Here we go. Okay, repeat. Where they go? Part 1, second 2. God, see, that's because I was trying to be a smart ass. See, what I was telling you was I thought I'd get a bit professional with this one, a professional job. I contacted my sound engineer and I got all that sorted out. Funny thing, his name's Terry Emmett, I don't know if you've heard of him. Anyway, he's fixed up the sound for me, and yeah, and then I thought, well, I'll get on to a lighting engineer, and I couldn't find one, see, so I whacked up this bloody table lamp on top of the unit that I'm looking at there, see, shining down, so that gives me, because I know it looks like the background it's midnight, but it's not, it's still sun shining out there. But I noticed on the videos before, like obviously it looked like I was in a dark room, so I hope this is a bit better. I hope it's not too light for you. Yeah, so I'll try and remember what I was saying. I was virtually going on about Brenda. Yeah, she's in the big hospital now, and the main problem with her is the not eating enough food. She's got to get the strength up. See, the big doctor there, the consultant doctor of the team. Excuse me, mate. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's certainly decided to go back to square one. Like there's been so many things happening, and we really don't know where it was. And he's took her off all the medication that she was on, like painkillers, morphine, all this stuff, all these other bits and bobs for this, trying to fix that sort of thing. He thinks she might have become a bit toxic with her, see. So he's cut out what he's virtually had to. He's just concentrating on this eating problem. They've tried this tube and she won't come it, and he said in the long term it can do damage anyway, so he said no, we'll pull that out. And he's got dietitians on the job, and they're trying to do this and they're trying to do that, certain foods and this stuff, and yeah, so we try and get that under control. She had a bit of a scare with her heart. See, they thought she, with the other hospital, because she started coughing and one thing or other. Might have been the tube, I don't know. See, she's got a bit of a dicky heart. She's got this, what they call a valve problem. One valve is not working properly, which means the heart is not pumping really strongly. It's working, but not real working good, and it leaks back through. If you know how the heart works, it circulates itself, doesn't it? That's where you get your high, up at 2 blood pressure levels. So yeah, so she finished up really. She wasn't very well there for a while. She finished up with fluid on the lung, which is it can be a bit of a. Yeah, he said to her, well, he said you could have gone off about 3 or 4 times. He said all the different things you've had. He said, but we're trying to sort of keep it under control, and you got the kidney problems. That apparently that's not that bad yet, which is good. I thought she would have finished up on dialysis. This was before all this happened, But the leg's improving out of sight, the leg's coming really good now. The back, well, they've got the vac dressing on the back now, so that hopefully if it does a job like it did on the leg with the back, we'll be home and hose where that goes. It's just a bed sore, but it's a deep one. And yeah, so yeah, we try and keep it cheered up. The main team, as far as we're concerned, is me and my daughter Julie. She lives a fair way away, but she's there for her all the time. But she's been on 5 weeks leave, see, from her job as a nurse in a children's hospital. Now, she's got to go back to work next week. She's got to work 3 days straight. She does 12-hour shifts. She works 3 12 hours, like night shifts or day shifts or whatever. So it's a pretty hard, and she said if I could be with Mum 24/7, she said I would, but not like the other girls, They don't work, and they're too busy mucking around, and they just say I haven't got the fare, they haven't got 2 bob to rub together, I haven't got the fare money to see her, I haven't got it. Give Mum our best tonight, and I've seen them about 3 or 4 times since she's been in 3 months, 2 months now. It's not good, is it? You know, I never come round and give me, because they got no transport. They haven't got a car between them. But I mean, we never had a car when we were younger. We had to get a bus or walk. They get fit and healthy. And here's me stuck here on my own. You know, like it got a bit heavy for the boy today. He went and parked my car, and in the meantime, we're walking back to the hospital to see me. He got tangled up with some dope, and he had the wobblies on when he got back. And I said, well, mate, you can't drive me like that. I get out. I was so pissed off with him, and so was Brenda. So I told him where to go. I said, you come back home when you're straight, and all the rest of it. So in the meantime, there we are, me and Julie with two cars. I thought I'd be okay, because before, last time I drove the car, you know what, I'm not even telling you anything like I told you in the first half of the movie, so you're never going to see that movie. You just forget that first bit, because I'm rambling on about something totally different. So anyway, I get in the car, and I thought I'd be okay. I'll sit on that special seat, spring-loaded seat, and I thought, well, at least I can touch the pedals. But do you know, I couldn't move my arm. I can't move my arms much more than that. So if I had to really move it quickly, I'd be no good. I just didn't feel confident, and I would have had to. Between where we live and where she is now, there's a 4-lane highway, freeway, what do you call it? 4 lanes. You know, and they zip along there about 110, and you can't just sit there like a bloody old, well, I know I'm an old pensioner, but you can't just sit there on 30 k's an hour. It's a 110 kilometre an hour road, you know. So I said to Julie, no, I'm not up for this, you know. She said, well, I'll because she was going to follow me home, see, because even when I got home there's no one there. I need someone to lift me out of the car, get me out. I can't do it on my own. She said, well, I'll follow you home anyway. That got cancelled because I couldn't drive. I said, look, I just can't do it, darling. And she said, okay, I'll drive your car home, which she did. She got me out of the car, blah blah blah, helped me at home, get a few things set up. The granddaughter had gone out for the day, she wasn't home. So I said, well, where are you going to get back now? She said, oh, I'll get the train back there. There's a train. But see, it's a 25-minute walk to the station, and the buses are not the best. So I said to the guy next door, I said, he's all right. He said, anything you want, just yell out, you know. And he rang me previous in the day to tell me that the post office or whoever had dropped some parcels at his place. If I'm not home, they'd drop them to him, see. I said, all right, mate, I'll pick them up on the way home. So anyway, when I get home, I'll ring him. I said, look, mate, I've had a bit of trouble, and I told him. He said, no worries. He said, I'll come and pick her up, and I'll run her down the station. I said, oh, mate, that'd be great. So that's what he did. And so she's all right. I ring her up a bit later tonight, and she's doing the bloody shopping now in a supermarket. It never ends for these women. I don't know how they do it, you know. So yeah, so she helps really. So the young bloke, he will be home. He knows we're stuffed up, you know. He'll probably be home. He won't be home tonight, because I told him to come home tonight, mate. Fine, whatever. If you have to sleep on the street, that's the way it is, eh? But he needs help, you know. He's been doing this now. He's 40 odd years of age, and he's worked on and off, but. He's not married. He's never had a steady girlfriend, and he's just been. His love of his life is drugs, you know, drugs and booze, and that's his life, you know. But he's got nothing. He's got nowhere to live. He's living with us. He set his name down for a council, or what they call it, housing, government housing, but. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be happening, because he goes walkabouts, and so I told him, I said, well, you let yourself down, mate. You let me down, but most of all, you let yourself down. So I said, you know, you better get yourself into rehab again. He's been in that many rehabilitation places, not funny, but nothing seems to click, you know, nothing seems to work. I thought this might have been. He's not as bad as he was, because before he was on it every day, and I don't know where he was. He was on the streets for about a year or more. But since he's been staying with me, he asked me if he could come back. I said, yeah, Mum was here. I said, you can come back and stay with us, providing, you know, you do the right thing. But, you know, he just falls off the hook. When he's okay yesterday, oh man, I got up this morning before we went to the hospital. He's done the mowing, he's done the cleaning. Yesterday he cleaned all the house out, mopped the floors. You know, you can't fault him as a lovely bloke. But when he's on the drugs, he's a totally different animal altogether, you know. I just can't handle it, you know. Anyway, I don't want to tell you all my problems, so, you know, And Brenda's seen him like that too, and he's raving on, and she just told him to shut up. She said, I've had enough, I've had you like all your life, you've been at it, and she's got bigger things, as they say, bigger fish to fry now, so, I just hope one day that, when we do go, they will see the lights, they get straightened up a bit, but, I can't see it happening. Anyway, Ronnie, I'm getting a bit down in the mouth now, so the second part's better than the first part. I'll give you the drum, okay? So stay glued for more, what do they say? For more news. See you later, mate. Bye.